You're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now, here's John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC.
Victoria Coates, and she is a national terrorist expert and an expert of many kinds. Victoria, tell us about you're part of our national security.
Well, thank you, John. Yes, and I was on the National Security Council staff under President Trump for 3 years, and then served in. Are
you in New York or are you in Milwaukee?
I am in Washington.
You're in Washington. Good place to be. Now, everybody is panicking. The biggest danger to Iran's existence and keeping the zillions that they're making is President Trump. Are they plotting against President Trump?
Oh, clearly they are. And, we had the revelation today that the Secret Service has been in possession of intelligence for weeks. That the Iranians are, basically since the disastrous debate for Biden, when it became pretty clear that it would be likely to see President Trump reelected, that the Iranians are now plotting to kill him. This is a really, really serious situation.
Victoria, it's Richard Weinberg. Good to talk to you again. But the Iranians have been having open contracts against Ambassador Bolton, the National Security Advisor O'Brien, Secretary of State Pompeo. I mean, how do we tolerate this? How do we get a message back to the Iranians that these are unacceptable courses of conduct?
Well, Judge, what we have to do is protect our people, starting with the former president. And there's an article that just published in the Wall Street Journal about 15 minutes ago about how the Secret Service has pulled Robert O'Brien's security detail. And there are a whole bunch of us who were on another list from January of 2023. They made a poster of us as the 50 most wanted terrorists, where there was a video calling for our execution. We've gotten nothing, literally nothing, like one call with the FBI. And, it's only a matter of time before somebody gets hurt if they don't pay attention to how serious this threat is.
Wow.
That's absolutely awful.
That is a wow.
I mean, how come people aren't talking about this? How come the Biden administration is not stepping up and protecting people who serve this country?
I was in Milwaukee on Monday night. I had dinner with Mike Pompeo, with the Archbishop, and a few other leaders in Milwaukee, and he still has full security.
Yeah, Secretary Pompeo does, but they pulled Robert O'Brien.
Why would they pull O'Brien?
It doesn't make any sense. I think because they wanted to, and that is Secret Service. My understanding is Secretary Pompeo's goes through the State Department, so that's a different protective unit, and the Secret Service is the most stretched. But that's what needs to protect a former White House official, and so you would hope that the Biden administration would be a lot more eager to protect the formers, since they're likely to become a bunch of formers now themselves in a couple of short months. But so far we've heard nothing.
Well, let's go to Rita Cosby in Milwaukee. She has a question.
Yeah, Victoria, I'm here at the Republican National Convention. I have covered many a convention. Security is unbelievable here. I keep going back, and everybody is talking about it here. Given these threats that we're talking about here from Iran, these massive ones that are coming against President Trump and others, how could there have been such an enormous security breakdown as we're learning more details about this assassination attempt? The fact that they had these warnings about the guy, that there were all these people reporting the guy crawling on the roof. There's even a report today that they saw a suspicious person going through the magnetometers 30 minutes before, and it was that guy. How could this happen?
No, it's mind-boggling, and I don't think anybody thinks that the would-be assassin was connected to the Iranians. There's no evidence of that yet. Perhaps that will emerge, but at the moment,
separate issue.
By the way, separate issue, but still, given those threats, wouldn't you think they'd have even more than normal Secret Service and extra?
And how about the open border? Open border?
Who's come across that can now be hired to do this kind of thing? So no, I think you're absolutely right. He should have had right back to his standard presidential security protocol once this credible threat was made. And it could have prevented then the clown show that took place on Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania, which was just an embarrassment for everybody involved. And apparently the First Lady's event in Pittsburgh took precedence. And so some of the professional agents were siphoned off to that when he was under an active threat from a foreign adversary at the time.
Back to New York, Craig Eaton has a question, Victoria.
Based on the epic failure that we saw last weekend, you look at Iran and what they're saying now with the assassinations and everything else. Tens of thousands of people crossed that border illegally, probably a lot of Iranians and other kinds of terrorists. How do we protect ourselves? How does the president protect himself? How do our elected officials protect themselves when you have all these terror cells walking around our streets throughout the country? Undetected.
This is precisely the problem, because we know Hezbollah, the key Iranian terrorist proxy, has been active in the Western Hemisphere for decades, going back to 1992, the AMA bombing in Buenos Aires. I mean, this is not news, but what is news is that we've had, millions of folks coming undetected, as you say, across the southern border for the last 3.5 years. The administration has been making nice with Iran. They still have fantasies of trying to get back into some Obama-type nuclear deal with them, so they don't want to provoke them. They don't want to be too aggressive. And what could happen is somebody could get killed.
It's scary. It's very scary out there.
Well, Victoria Coates, please keep your eyes open. Text us immediately if you know something, and we'll put you on WABC Worldwide News.
Well, thank you, guys. Everybody stay safe.
Stay safe.
You, Rita.
Thank you. Stay safe in Washington.
Thank you.
Thank you.